In the dazzling constellation of global pop culture, few stars shine as brightly as Rose. A voice that transcends language, a presence that bridges continents. As a member of Blackpink and a solo powerhouse, she has long been celebrated as one of South Korea's most recognizable cultural exports. But recently, Rose has made a decision that reverberates far beyond music charts and fanbases. She has officially withdrawn from the Korean Music Copyright Association, KOMCA. This move, unprecedented for a K-pop idol in over 2 decades, is not simply an administrative choice. It is a declaration, one that exposes the cracks in the very foundation of the world's most dynamic entertainment industry. Beneath the polished veneer of K-pop's global success lies a silent crisis, the battle over royalties. While K-pop dominates stages and streaming platforms worldwide, the creators fueling its success, songwriters, composers, producers, and performers, receive a disproportionately small slice of the pie. In South Korea, only 10.5% of streaming revenue actually flows to the people who write and perform the music. By contrast, their peers in the US earn 12.3%, while creators in the UK and Germany take home as much as 16% and 15% respectively. On paper, the difference may appear incremental. In reality, across millions of streams, the disparity is vast and devastating. At the heart of the problem lies an outdated distribution system. Before reaching the artist, revenue passes through a labyrinth of intermediaries, distributors, production companies, and multiple copyright management bodies. Each entity claims its share, leaving the creators with fragments. Services like Melon, South Korea's dominant streaming platform, retain nearly 35% of revenue, a figure significantly higher than the global average. Though the situation has improved since 2008, when artists received as little as 5%, the imbalance remains urgent and unsustainable. For Rose, the tipping point came when she realized the double deductions applied to her global earnings. Her music, streamed across continents, was being taxed twice. Once by international publishers, and again by domestic organizations like KOMCA. This double dip drained 30 to 40% of her rightful revenue. By stepping away from KOMCA, Rose has unlocked the ability to negotiate directly with international publishers and platforms such as Apple Music, retaining nearly 100% of her streaming income. Her decision echoes that of Seo Taiji, the legendary artist who famously left KOMCA in 2002 after disputes over unauthorized use of his work. Taiji's battle dragged on for 12 years, ultimately reshaping the conversation around intellectual property in South Korea. Now Rose's move carries the same catalytic energy, sparking questions about whether other idols, particularly those with global reach, might follow her path. The timing could not be more critical. K-pop's fourth-generation idols have already cemented the genre's presence on the global stage, but the fifth generation faces skepticism. Critics describe many of these new acts as silver spoon idols, privileged performers lacking the grit, skill, and authenticity that once defined K-pop's meteoric rise. The reliance on cosmetic image building, lip-syncing, and fan service over artistry has led to waning excitement, with new music videos struggling to break 30 million views where 100 million once felt like the baseline. Meanwhile, the spotlight is shifting. Fans in Southeast Asia are turning toward homegrown acts, praising their vocal power and live performance skills. On social platforms like X, formerly Twitter, these local groups often surpass K-pop idols in global fan polls. This shift underscores a deeper issue. Without structural reform and a renewed focus on artistry, K-pop risks losing its cultural dominance. Rose's decision to entrust her rights to US-based organizations like ASCAP and BMI, under the umbrella of Warner Music's Atlantic Records, is both practical and symbolic. It signals a belief that the Korean system cannot yet meet the demands of a global career. The US, with its decentralized copyright model, allows artists greater autonomy, albeit at the cost of navigating more complex licensing landscapes. For Rose, the trade-off is worth it: transparency, efficiency, and financial control. And yet, this is not just about one artist's income. It's about the precedent she sets. If one of K-pop's most globally recognized figures chooses to abandon Korea's copyright framework, how long before others follow? How long before KOMCA, despite its record 37.7 billion won in overseas royalties collected in 2024, faces an exodus of its brightest stars? The stakes are profound. K-pop is more than an industry. It is a cultural identity, a national brand, a source of pride. But as its reach extends across the globe, its internal structures must evolve. Otherwise, its greatest talents may choose systems that respect their artistry, even if it means breaking with tradition. Rose has always embodied duality, a Korean-born idol with an Australian upbringing, a group member and a soloist, a performer and a songwriter. Now she embodies something else, the courage to walk away from a flawed system in search of fairness. Her departure from KOMCA is not the end of a chapter, but the opening line of a new story, one that could redefine how Korean music creators protect and profit from their work in an increasingly borderless world. Because sometimes the most powerful note is not sung on stage. It is the one that challenges an entire industry to listen.